The Houston Texans and Los Angeles Rams Week 1 matchup is not a game between two teams with playoff hopes. It is a game with two teams that are expecting to be playing for a Super Bowl in 2025. Of course, Los Angeles Rams, they've been there, they've done that. Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, they've won a Super Bowl. On the other side of things, CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans have been so far above the expectations of where we thought they would be when they drafted CJ Stroud second overall. And they decided to trade up and get Will Anderson with that third spot. They have been a contender in the AFC, and it is time that they realize their potential. If you make back-to-back divisional rounds appearances and you come up short in the third season, you're expecting to get to the AFC Championship game. You're expecting to be able to build off of that. That's why they took Jalen Noel out of Iowa State. That's why they took Jaden Higgins, the 6'4", 215-pounder, out of Iowa State. Those guys combined for 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns the last 2 years with Iowa State. Why did Iowa State make that Big 12 champ game? Because of those two guys. The Houston Texans have as deep a receiving core as anybody in the NFL. I'd rival it with the likes of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you go guy by guy, let's go guy by guy. Let's go through it. I mean, we know about it. Nico Collins, Tank Dell. They've got, like we just mentioned, Jalen Noel, Jaden Higgins. Okay, Tampa Bay, they've got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Emeka Puka, Jalen McMillan. Those are the top two cores. The Los Angeles Rams might have a better duo in the sense of having Puka, Nacua, and Davante Adams. That is a spectacular wide receiver duo. On the defensive side of the ball, they have who I think will be the defensive player of the year in the National Football League as a year two player, and that is the man by the name of Jared Verse. Jared Verse can be the face of this franchise next season. Matthew Stafford, we know he can have a great year. The expectations will be sky high. Right, so to say, sunset has definitely begun. It's almost set on that career for Stafford, but he absolutely can win a Super Bowl. Don't look anywhere else besides the Philadelphia Eagles and that playoff run and the run to winning a Super Bowl again. It all came because they just skidded by the Los Angeles Rams in the divisional round. They just came up with that win. They were so close to losing that game. Jalen Carter gets the sack. Holy cow, was that a tight one. Like, the Rams had him on the ropes. Down 6, momentum just went right down the field. The previous drive, they had all of it. So that's to say, these are two teams that are very good on the defensive line. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, who we talked about in the beginning. And the Rams, Colby Turner, Byron Young, Verse, Braden Fisk. He's going to be the best front four in football, if not next year, in 2 years, 3 years from now, it absolutely will be. The secondaries for both of these teams, I mean, Kalen Bullock for Houston, he's a guy that maybe Rams fans aren't all that familiar with. Maybe you are. It's hard to know, depending on the extent of how much you watch college football. The kid did play at USC, so it probably is a little bit familiar to you. Of course, Derek Stingley, one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. The Rams, as an offense, to go against that, they're going to be giving Houston problems. It doesn't matter. I mean, when you have Davante Adams on one side, who has been the best wide receiver in football the past 5 years. I know you're going to say Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Go look at the stats. Come back to me and tell me what you think. I've already looked at the stats. That's exactly why I'm saying, and I have that opinion. Davante Adams has the stats to rival a Jamar Chase. He has all of it to back up being better than a Justin Jefferson. Davante Adams has played in 2 NFC championship games with the Green Bay Packers. He's been phenomenal. No one's going to be debating that. It's just he went to the Jets, was with the Raiders. He's sort of been lost in the wash because we haven't seen this guy play a playoff game in 3 seasons. So Davante Adams, I can absolutely tell you, can still ball. Puka Nacua is one of the more underrated players in the NFL. No debate whatsoever to that. He's, at this point, not even underrated, expected to be a first-round fantasy wide receiver pick. Yeah, so DeMeco Ryans, the head coach of the Houston Texans, him versus Sean McVay, we get to see the defensive coach, right? DeMeco's whole essence has been that energy, that fieriness, that passion. He puts it together on that defensive side of the ball against Sean McVay, the wits, the guy that has a bit of the motion. His offenses are going to play a whole bunch of on time, rhythm, get the ball to Kyren Williams, having Stafford under center. That's what they look like. Where do I have you lean so far? Does it have a sense of home field advantage because the game is at SoFi Stadium? Really not so much. Do believe it's going to be a very tight game, but have the Rams just barely being able to come out with a win 28-24, expecting CJ Stroud to have that huge array of weapons that he's just like in his chops. He's like, holy cow. This is one of the most talented groups that I've had since I was at Ohio State. He's thrown to Nacua, Puka, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith, and like he had all of those guys. So this is the second best receiver core he's ever been able to play with. It's kind of funny that the core is better for him in college. But Houston, I've got the Houston Texans being a team that can go 13-4 next year. They have a squad that really doesn't have a specific weakness. The only thing that you would probably lean on would be maybe Mixon and what the run game potential is, or CJ Stroud being only that third-year player needs to have those reps under his belt. Like if you were to compare who would you rather have between a Stafford and Stroud, you'd probably be having that lean for Stafford because of surely that experience. What are they looking like? My expectation for the Rams is to look good coming out of this game. If they had started better against the Lions week 1 last year, we could have absolutely seen them take that game at the end, and it doesn't have to go to overtime. Or for the Houston Texans, can they come out and be able to find a game plan to limit Adams, to limit Nacua, make them give the ball to Kyren Williams 27 times for a $120, something like that, where they're going to be making sure that they're not going to get beat by Stafford's arm and make the Rams beat them, keep that clock running, and keep it close to the end. I know the expectations are high that Houston's a great team, but still playing a very competitive game against the Rams is exactly where you want to be as a football team. This game could absolutely be a rematch that we could see in the Super Bowl. That might not at all be talked about by a lot of other people, but when you really look through what these rosters are, two very good head coaches, quarterbacks that are easily in the top 10 of the NFL, and CJ Stroud, of course, will stay there. But yeah, 28-24, have the Rams coming up with a win, but very high on these two teams in 2025. So let me know down below in the comments, who do you think is going to win this game? What do you think the records will be for these two teams in 2025? Like, what is the upside of what you think that each of them can be next year? Please subscribe for more content in the future. Would love to see you guys back for more in the future, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinoza.